The Tyrannosaurus rex, apex predator of the late Cretaceous, moves through the forest like a living earthquake.
With an extraordinary sense of smell, it can detect the faintest trace of prey from miles away.
A young herbivore, strongly built, but alone and dangerously far from the safety of the herd.
Despite its colossal size, the tyrant stalks with surprising stealth, relying on patience as much as power.
In an instant, stillness turns to chaos as raw muscle and momentum are unleashed.
A single kill can sustain this giant for days, fueling the vast machinery of its predatory body.
Small, fast, and intelligent, Velociraptor hunts with eyes and minds finely tuned to opportunity.
From this vantage point, even the smallest movement on the desert floor cannot escape its gaze.
They do not simply charge, they coordinate, turning the desert into a trap of their own design. One draws its attention, while the others prepare the decisive strike from the edges of its vision. A single, perfectly timed leap turns speed and precision into a lethal weapon.
Working in concert, they pull the heavier animal down and keep it there.
Even in victory, caution rules every movement. Any moment could bring a larger thief.
As night falls, these small predators vanish into shadow, leaving only their footprints in the cooling sand.
Allosaurus, the agile giant of the Jurassic, rules these open plains.
Its senses tune toward any sign of weakness or distraction in the herds nearby.
Armored and armed, this prey is not easily taken, but hunger drives predators to attempt the impossible.
They do not hunt as a synchronized pack, but they can exploit each other's movements to create openings.
A frontal rush provokes a violent defense, exposing the prey's unprotected side.
With flexible, powerful jaws, Allosaurus tears great wounds with brutal, sawing shakes.
In a landscape full of hungry mouths, speed at the carcass can be as important as speed in the chase. As darkness spreads across the Jurassic world, this agile giant melts into the shadows it rules.
Half hunter of land, half creature of the water, Spinosaurus dominates the river's edge.
Sensitive pressure receptors in its snout allow it to detect even subtle movement in the murky depths.
A single mistake brings it dangerously close to the jaws of a specialist.
With a violent burst of motion, it turns calm water into chaos, flushing prey into the open.
Teeth built not for slicing, but for gripping, lock tight around the struggling animal. In a single powerful motion, water prey becomes riverbank meal.
Here on the bank, the river's apex hunter feasts on the rewards of its hybrid life between land and water.
One of the largest land predators ever known, Giganotosaurus turns open country into hunting ground.
Even among giants, youth and distance from the herd can be a fatal combination.
For a creature of this size, its speed is astonishing and utterly devastating.
A crippling bite to the leg robs the giant youngster of its only hope, flight.
Even this giant must feed quickly,
Such a carcass will soon draw other mouths to the feast.
For now, its sheer size and presence are enough to claim dominion over the kill. As twilight takes hold, this giant predator watches over a realm built on speed, strength, and fear.
Lightweight and streamlined, Carnivorous is built for speed across the desert floor. This small grazer stands alone, an easy target on the open plain.
Few predators of its size can match the sheer velocity Carnivorous unleashes.
The chase lasts only seconds. The desert offers nowhere to hide. A devastating sideways head strike topples the fleeing herbivore instantly.
Though lightly built, its jaws deliver quick, efficient killing bites.
For over 150 million years, colossal hunters ruled a world untouched by humans.
Intelligent and agile, Deinonychus depends on teamwork to bring down larger prey.
A young Tenontosaurus, strong but vulnerable when isolated.
Their coordinated movement is no accident. It is strategy refined by survival.
Despite its size, the tyrant could stalk with surprising stealth. Then, a sudden explosion of raw power.
Their deadly toe claws anchor them to their target with terrifying grip.
A coordinated assault overwhelms even much larger prey. Even in triumph, caution rules their every bite. With the hunt complete, the forest's silent killers melt into the coming dark. A patent hunter, Baryonyx is built for life at the water's edge.
A rich river teems with prey if a hunter knows how to seize it.
Pressure receptors help it read each subtle shift beneath the surface.
The prey fights, but the hunter's grip is unyielding.
A simple motion delivers a hard-earned meal.
Every part of its anatomy is shaped by a life spent hunting river creatures.
As day fades, the river's shadowy hunter returns to the depths.
Largest of the raptors, Utah raptor dominates the high forests.
A young iguanodon, strong but dangerously alone.
Then, a sudden explosion of raw power. Its jaws crush bone as easily as twigs.
A powerful leap turns height into a lethal advantage.
Its enlarged sickle claw locks prey in place.
Overpowered and pinned, escape becomes impossible.
At Dale's End, the Titan raptor stands alone against the fading sky.
One of the earliest giant predators, Megalosaurus shaped the Jurassic's food chains.
A young sauropod pauses at the river's edge, vulnerable in its moment of thirst.
Even giants can stalk with remarkable stealth. A sudden eruption of power shatters the river's calm.
A single crushing bite ends the struggle almost instantly. The young giant's fall shakes the earth beneath it.
An early apex predator feasts on the energy that drives its reign.
For over 150 million years, colossal hunters ruled a world untouched by humans.
The Stegosaurus, instantly recognizable by its dorsal plates, was a dominant herbivore of the late Jurassic period.
The Parasaurolophus uses its distinctive crest to produce a deep, resonant call, echoing through the dense jungle.